Hello everybody, welcome back to my new video. Today, I'm doing a little draw with me while I talk about my experience with art and also just how art has impacted my life. So you can mute me and just have me play on the background as I'm drawing and you can draw with me, or you can listen to me talk while you draw and watch me draw, or if you just want to simply watch me draw, go for it. Do what you gotta do. Also, the reference I use in this video is Melon Soup's reference. I'm her patron and I literally love all of her references. I don't know how every time she posts a reference, I'm like, oh my god, I've literally thought of doing that idea, but there's never I can never find the right photo I want to use. So I'm always using her reference photos when I'm sketching in my sketchbook. So I love her reference photos. You should definitely check her out. So yeah, and this whole thing that I'm doing here is I'm sketching without really erasing, because the pencil I'm using you can't really erase with, and I just kind of cover up markings with a Posca pen, and then I end up outlining it because I just want it to be kind of a bit neater, I suppose. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here, and I'm creating a new OC. I end up naming her Paris because I want to have Halloween OCs that I can draw in the month of October. I'm also probably going to be creating a witchy OC. This is kind of a ghost hunter OC. That's kind of why at the end she's gonna end up holding a flashlight. But yeah, I want to be creating a whole different new all kinds of characters and not just confining myself to these one characters. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna start off with a simple, and today's topic is just art in general. I got into art when I was little. I was always reading, and then suddenly in elementary school when we were taking art classes, I got really into it. I loved coloring, and I was a coloring book girl. Literally every time I went to the dollar store with my grandma, I bought a coloring book and we would color together. And it was crazy, and I loved coloring, and I just loved art. But when I was little, that's what I loved doing. And then I kind of lost it in middle school, and then I kind of picked it back up in high school because I would paint and redraw memes, or I would just draw cartoon things, and I loved doing the SpongeBob ones. It was just the trend, and I would make them for all of my friends. And it was just what I did, and I don't know. I just never really improved because that's all I did. And then I kind of stepped away from that, and I really liked the idea of focusing on I guess fashion and not really faces and anatomy. So I was really struggling in the anatomy department for a really long time. In high school, I just couldn't find a way to make people look realistic. I just couldn't do it, and it really frustrated me. And I couldn't really find my art style, and I was looking at all these other artists who had their art style, and just kind of made me feel really bad about myself with art. So everything I was creating literally had no faces. There were no faces on anything, but I just tend to really focus on the dresses, and even the dresses didn't really have much detail. During this time, from my meme paintings to now this style, I was really into acrylic painting. I still love acrylic painting to this day. It's definitely the medium I'm most comfortable with. But at that time, I was only using acrylic paints, and I was painting on canvases, and I was churning these out so much. It was insane. So I just never really grew with my art because I was just not improving at all, and it just really set me back a lot. And then as I got into my senior year, that's when I started branching out. I started trying to do faces again. Didn't like those, so then I switched up and went back to my faceless drawings, and then I got horrible grades on those in my class. So then I switched to doing these self-portraits, but with the theme of like my experience with the pandemic. So I did like meaningful self-portraits and absolutely flourished in those. I was using acrylic paint, and then I used like colored pencil on top. I wasn't giving like much like value to my faces. And it was just really weird because like they kind of look like realism, but it also really wasn't realism. It was really weird. But I got amazing grades on those, surprisingly. I don't know how I did, but I did. I managed to do that. And yeah, that was like my high school experience with art. And at that time, I was an English major. Like, that's what I was going to college for. And then I shit you not, the first day of classes, I went early in the morning to the advising center and I switched my major and I got into classes for my new major, which I am now a graphic design major. So that was a crazy switch. It was very much an impulse decision. But yeah, it was crazy. And like now I'm literally pursuing art. But I guess I can go into more detail about like how and why I wanted to switch majors. I was really dead set on like writing books. Like, I have always loved reading books, we know this, and then I got really into writing my own books. Like, I literally have books on my computer that like I've done nothing with, and I don't know if I ever will. Like, I want to publish a book. Like, I have one sitting in like literally sitting in my computer that is like really good, and it's literally what my tattoo is based off of. But I'm really, really scared to like start like actually putting in the work of getting it published. Like, it's written and it needs to go through like more drafts and editing and like all of that jazz. So then I just was really thinking like, shit, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? And also I was looking at the classes I had to take, and like the first like year and a half, I wouldn't be able to take like my major based courses. And I was looking at the courses I had to take in college for like my major, and I just wasn't really vibing with it. Like, obviously, like I love writing, but I know what I want to write for, and I didn't want to take a poetry class. I didn't want to do all this, and I just knew from the get-go I probably wasn't happy. But I just had this mindset to just stay in this major that I definitely wasn't going to be happy in, and I wasn't already happy in, and I was just having so much issues with my major already, and it was just a big old mess. And I was really unhappy already the first few days of school at my college, and my aunt called me and she was like, you don't have to stay with this one major. Like, you have so many options. Like, you're so good at art. Like, you could go into graphic design, like illustration. Like, you have so many options. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, you're so right. Like, I just never really thought as art as a career. Like, it just never really crossed my mind because I was so dead set on like being an English major and writing and then all this other stuff, and I just didn't think it was ever possible. And then I was like, maybe my aunt is right. Maybe she is. And then that literal next morning, I made the impulse decision to change my major. And literally, I shit you not, that was the best decision of my life. I'm not an impulse person. I'm very thorough with my decisions and choices, but that choice I made was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. Like, I think I would have genuinely been so unhappy with my major, and especially if I forced myself to continue doing that major, I just would not have been happy. And now I am very happy with my decision. And it really pushed me to like want to do this stuff, which is crazy. But now I love what I do, and now I'm finally getting into classes with graphic design now that I've done like kind of like all my prerequisites, and I'm just loving my major. And I also transferred colleges. I got out of that really bad college. It like wasn't a bad college, it just was not for me. And now I'm back at home commuting to a college, and my mental health is so much better, and I'm just overall like doing so much better. And I love art. I've now found my art style, and now I'm like doing this kind of stuff, and I'm just a lot more happier And I love my decision. And I'm saying this now, if you're thinking about pursuing art as a career, do it. If anybody in your life has told you that's not a good career to go into, you only have one life and your career is what you're going to do for the rest of your life or whatever, just do it. Who cares? It is your life to live. Oh my God, what is that noise? You should just do it. And anybody who tells you different, they should go themselves. I'm sorry. But I have had like teachers and just be like, art's not really like a good career to go into. Who cares? Literally, who cares what you do with your life? Like, okay, and like pursue your career. Because I am so happy doing what I'm doing and like learning what I'm learning. Because like I said, I would not have been happy. Like, I'm so happy learning what I'm learning. Like, I feel like if I would have been sitting in those English courses just listening about poetry and trying to write poetry, and when that's not something I wanted to do, it's just take that leap. Literally take the leap. Do that impulse decision to go get an art degree. Like, go to an art institute. Go to this higher art school. Do that. Or even just go to like just a college and go get your art degree. Like, it doesn't matter, just do it, you know? Like, I hated that I just said just do it, but it's just all about, like, realizing that, like, this is, like, what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, and, like, this is what you're paying money for a degree, so you might as well do something that's gonna make you happy. Because if you're getting a degree and you're paying money for something you're not going to be happy with, why would you ever do that? I don't know what I was thinking when I was just like confining myself to like this English major when that's not what I wanted to do. And I also didn't want to make writing this thing where it like sucked the joy out of it, because I love writing and like that's my outlet, and like I want to keep that as a hobby. And like with art, it's like, yes, art can be a hobby, but also I just don't want the joy and happiness sucked out of writing and then having to sit in these classes and be told that like it's, I don't know. Like, I don't know what my life would have looked like if I would have continued doing that. Maybe I would have been happy, but I don't think I would have been happy. But yeah, just don't be afraid to make these choices, you know? Like, you got one life. Live it, you know? That's the advice I have in that department. Just another thing, practicing, yeah, practice makes perfect. That's what I was trying to think of, is practice makes perfect, because my first semester of college, my art style was not good. I had no grasp on anatomy, and I just didn't really know what I wanted to do, and everybody around me just kind of already had their art style, and I was just kind of sitting there like, I made an impulse decision, and now I'm here. So it was just really hard for me to do that and grasp that. And then that Christmas break, my grandma died. And then I just kind of threw myself into drawing and just putting my mind somewhere else. And then my dog died. And then I was like, okay, life is really cool. Life is really great. And I just did not like my life at that college. And then I ended up transferring. Now I'm commuting at home. But anyways, that whole semester I was really, really, really sad, and I was grieving. I threw myself into doing art and finding my art style. And I did find my art style. Cheers, claps, cheers. Yes. Whenever you have that realization that you found your art style, I swear to God, it is the most happiness I could have ever felt in my life, because I was looking back at the art I made first semester compared to what I was making second semester, and I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. And now I like, as somebody who found it really hard to find their art style, literally watch sketchbook tours. Watch sketchbook tours on YouTube. I swear that is literally, I think, partly the reason I found my art style, is because I was looking at other people's art and I was just like, yo, that is so cool. And then I just took what I liked and I made it my own. And yeah, I just looked at other people's art and I was watching them draw and I watched their process. And now I just I haven't figured out. And like obviously like my art style is not like finalized, and art style grows and changes, but just to like have my first basis, I am so happy with, because now I love drawing. Now I truly love it. And also I'm getting so much better at drawing hands, because hands are something I'm so insecure about drawing. And now it's fine. And eyes, I hated drawing eyes. I was very insecure about that. And now I have a style of drawing eyes, and now I love drawing eyes, and I don't feel terrified of them anymore. And that's the same thing with lips. I could not draw lips for the life of me. Now I can draw lips the way I draw lips. And it's just like to get over these hurdles and just to like try different things just to see what works, or even looking at other artists just to see what works, is so beneficial and helpful. That like that's my advice, is to just watch sketchbook tours and just watch other people draw. Because genuinely, I don't know where I would be if I didn't watch sketchbook tours and then fall asleep during them, and then my roommate waking me up so I would put my computer away and like actually go to bed. I don't know. But now I still love watching sketchbook tours, and I love watching what other people create, and then that inspires me to create more stuff. Like there's this one YouTuber I watch, Sketches of Shay, like the way she draws like her OCs like makes me want to create like OCs like that. And it's just really inspiring, and just really just makes me really creative, I guess, is just seeing what other artists create. I think it's beautiful. And also just looking and taking note of like artists, I think are really helpful. And I think that also helps me really get back into liking art and loving art, and like doing it in my free time and getting better. And also I was taking drawing classes, so I was drawing like every day. And it's just like when you truly do practice and you take the time to get better at something, you genuinely do get better at something. And that is the realization I have now, is that as long as I continue to learn and grow, it does genuinely get better. Like I'm trying to get over this hurdle of hands. And then once I get over those hurdle of hands, I want to start giving like better expression to my characters and doing this and doing that, while I am learning graphic design in my college courses and all of that kind of stuff. It's just taking time to want to learn is just, it's just learning in general, I think, is what I've realized. And also my life has changed so much ever since like that impulse decision. Like I honestly like have had like not like the best year, but now that I'm back at home, I'm so much healthier. It's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of like, I guess, my journey with art, how I decided what I wanted to do in my life, and then also like finding my art style, which is crazy, I guess. Also, I'm starting to learn how to use gouache. Like I've been learning how to use gouache, and I love gouache. Like I love gouache. And I never would have tried that if I wasn't watching these YouTubers. Like, swear to God, it literally has helped me out so much. But yeah, just some like goals going into the future: get better at hands, get better at doing expressions, and then also just something I want to do in the month of October is just have fun with like Halloween OCs, and also start drawing my friends' D&D characters for our new campaign we're going to be starting. And it's just all about setting goals for yourself, and also goals just really like drive your life. I've realized like whenever I give myself goals to do for the day and then I reward myself after doing it, it's crazy. Like I literally took notes earlier, and then I was like, okay, you're going to treat yourself with a little YouTube video. And that's honestly how I keep myself going. It's really crazy. Yeah. I don't even know what else to talk about. I guess I could talk more about what I'm drawing. But yeah, the whole like sketchiness idea that I'm doing in this video, I got from my drawing 2 class. It was an assignment where you couldn't really erase And I just really liked the idea of just like obviously there's so much pressure in not erasing, but in the practice of me not erasing, I just kind of just like do my own thing. And I don't make myself as much as a perfectionist. Like, does this look the best? No, not really. But it was also just like a trial experience of like creating this OC and doing this and doing that. It's just really, really fun. And I you know what? I encourage you to do this. Just pick up, like, honestly, even a colored pencil, because when you like press hard enough with the colored pencil, you can't really like erase it. Like, pick up a colored pencil and then just draw. And then if you want to, just like take like a white like pen, like a white gel pen. Like, a white gel pen also works. I just use a Posca pen. But take like a white gel pen, or take like white paint, and then just like fix the areas that need to be fixed, and then just like outline over it, and then just add some shading. It's honestly like my favorite thing to do now. Like, I love doing that. And then I also love like using gouache if I'm doing like traditional stuff. I've also really been trying to get into like drawing on my iPad and like learning the iPad stuff and learning Procreate, and I'm having a lot of fun learning that and like trying to figure out like what it looks like in my own way on my iPad, and I'm having a lot of fun doing that too. I'm just pushing myself to grow more, and like also just grow more as a person. Like, I think I still very much have like the same personality I did in high school, but I'm also just like learning on focusing on myself and just becoming better at certain things, and also just like, I don't know, just creating more goals in my life, I think, is just the main thing, and finding out what I like and what I don't like, and then just how I want my life to look like in the future. It's just truly what I've been trying to do. And also, I've just been trying to put myself into like new things. Like, we've been playing D&D, and I've been doing that, and then I've also just been trying to get better at art, and then like learn graphic design stuff, and it's just so much fun. I'm having so much fun. So yeah, I basically just encourage you to just try out new things. Don't be afraid to try out new things, especially in art. You never know what could happen. Me with watercolors. I tried watercolors. I don't like watercolors. I don't like using them. So I don't use watercolors. Do I like using gouache? Oh my gosh, yes. Now all the time I use gouache. Like, I prefer gouache over a lot of things. I'm trying to get better at that too. It's just finding what you like and what you don't like, I think, it's just the journey. I think that's all I have to say, at least with this topic with art. I kind of just had like these main things I wanted to talk about, and I think that's all I have for today. So I'm probably just I probably will speed up this video. So now is the time for me to show you what the final product is. I like how this turned out. I think it's a great stepping stone to figure out like how Paris looks. So if you want me to do another video like this, I will, and I'll do like my witch OC. I wish you all the best, and I hope you have a great day. Love y'all. Bye-bye.